But football without fans is not. You play a football match without fans, is it not? It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch, it becomes nothing.
And to Johnson. Johnson. And a goal by Johnson. Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! Nakamura! He has done it! Isn't that just typical?
The game is over. The Rebels have won. Champions, that's who we are.
Good evening, and we've just witnessed an outstanding Celtic victory at Easter Road, overcoming the hoodoo that is Hibs away, and we've picked up 4 goals in lead up to the 2nd of January game. We've got Dale, we've got James, we've got Paddy. How you doing, boys?
For we only know that there's gonna be a show when the Glasgow Celtic will be there. Diddly-do. It's happening, boys.
Good, mate.
Oh, good, man.
Oh, good.
You all right, James? Aye.
I mate, brand new. As I
sure,
said
mate?
to you last night, I wasn't going to make the podcast, so I had to let my twin brother on last night, so I just hope he didn't make a cunt of himself.
You certainly did.
Well, James, he's more than welcome.
Well, the talking points for the day, 4 goals, man. Like, there was a bit of, I wouldn't say an early storm for Hibs, but they threatened early. They were spirited, but we saw that out, and we just got better and better. It was more than just a professional performance. We were exhibiting some of our best skills as a team, and let some of the performers today. Maida, his wing play was fantastic. Dale, what did you think of Maida today? He got his goal, an outstanding goal, man. If Jota did that, you'd be creaming yourself.
Aye, of course, mate. And I think Maida's gets a wee bit of stick after Celtic fans, depending on performances. But aye, tonight, mate, absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure we'll move on to the Moy stuff with our James. And I to be honest with you, I can't wait to get a podcast with James. And I'm not the biggest Aaron Moy fan, but I answer your question, mate. Aaron Moy tonight was the best player in the park, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt, I thought he was outstanding. I thought we went and done what we had to do. Expecting Rangers to beat Motherwell at the shit pit. So, aye, good night at the office, Gav. Very good night at the office, mate.
Well, James, I thought I'd just let it simmer for a bit there, but Moy, he broke his duck, and he broke your heart as well, mate. 2 goals, the Baldy Pirlo, what can you say?
Well, as I said, the first one, I think, is a miss hit anyway, because he's definitely meant to hit it back really. You got to hold your hands up, didn't you? He was different class tonight. Head and shoulders the best player in the park. Did have a shaky start though, first 10 minutes. Don't think he passed a Celtic player once, but nah, fair dozo. He can have that one. That's him had 2 good games for us now.
He was. Paddy, I was actually a wee bit nervous with the Celtic midfield about the kind of the lack of pace. But you know, Moy, he ran the show. We're going to talk continuously about Moy throughout this podcast. So, Paddy, do you want to just I'll pass the baton on to you about Moy.
Well, just in case there's anybody watching doesn't know what the hell we're talking about with Moy, young Jamesy here has got a severe hard-on for Aaron Moy. So he's getting it tight tonight, basically. Aye, listen, apart not just Moy, the whole team responded absolutely magnificently. I'd actually messaged Dale. I think it was after the first 10 minutes or something. I says, "All right, this is a bit shaky here. Atati's looking suspect at right back." But that was Hibs coming at the trap, as you would expect Hibs to do at Easter Road, if they're all the posturing and gesticulating by Lee Johnson, or the kind of mind tactics and the fucking trifle of the talk, or the shite he was talking. But Celtic responded magnificently. Again, we spoke about it last night on the podcast. The statistically, Celtic haven't done that great in the last kind of five trips to Easter Road. But we certainly put some wrongs to right tonight, and we absolutely blew them away. And it was especially gratifying that it came from goals by players who have been kind of, I don't want to say whipping boys, Ricks, I hate that term, but guys that have come in for a lot of criticism. Aaron Moy, this is named at you, James, right? But just in general, Aaron Moy, Dyson Maeda, two guys who I thought had an absolutely brilliant game. So I'm delighted to see the 3 points on the board, delighted to see the points on the board by an emphatic victory, and especially before we go to Ibrox. So good to see cohesion in the squad, great performance, superb.
That's a good point, Paddy. The people who were star performers tonight have had their detractors, such as Moy. Of course, Moy has had his detractors. Maeda too. We always kind of criticise Maeda because we say he's not a winger. But ironically, when he had his two best chances tonight, that was at the diving headers in the box where he kind of fluffed his lines, but he scored a worldie outside the box. And Kyogo as well. I've been kind of criticising Kyogo a bit to say he only does well when the ball is put on a plate for him. He had a brilliant through ball played through by Hatate for the final goal tonight, which we'll get to. But the way that he scored that, it was clinical. It was typical Kyogo. And even Starfelt as well, another guy who gets his critics. I thought Starfelt was outstanding tonight. Dale, I wanted to kind of start off just kind of going through the game as it unfolded. You could see Hibs' tactics right away. They were targeting wee Hatate, who was deputising at right back, and a lot of lofted balls were played through to that big Frenchman, and it was kind of like little and large comparing his size to wee Hatate. But anytime that Frenchman got the better of Hatate, Starfelt was there to clear up, mop up the danger. Were you aware of that tactic earlier on, and were you kind of nervous about what they could pose on us? Because it's not been easy so far at Easter Road.
It hasn't, mate. It hasn't. And what I did say the other day was in regards to Celtic and the kind of Aberdeen game and the Livingston game was I thought a wee bit, Gav, we were getting a wee bit predictable, as in the goals were coming foot wide all the time, and there was very, very little kind of high balls, and I thought, right, okay, teams in Scotland are the likes of Davy Martindale and Livingston and other teams are kind of finding us out, and I thought, aye, okay, I think we're going to struggle going forward in regards to obviously Kyogo playing all the time and Hatate and guys like that, and people saying we've got absolutely no height in the team. So teams have tended to set up like 5 or 6 behind the ball, and if you keep the ball away from Celtic out wide, then they'll no score goals. But to be honest with you, Gav, tonight 4-0 Easter Road, I 100% never expected that. I thought it would have been a tough game, even though I think Hibs are absolute dog shite. I think they're terrible. They'll be bottom 6 this year, but I don't know. It just goes to show that whatever we do at Paradise or away from home, then it's, I don't know, man. We surprise people, man. We definitely do surprise people. So, aye, very, very surprised at the score line tonight, Gav, but delighted and looking to go into Monday and going 12 points clear. And aye, Michael Beale going to get his mole cut off his face, so happy days, mate.
Aye. Woodsy, he was saying looks like Fat Boy is out injured. I take it that's Greg Taylor. I never noticed that he was.
I thought he was talking about Morelos.
So did I.
Oh, was he? Good. I noticed that Cholak wasn't on the bench for the Rotten Mob tonight. So is he injured as well, Cholak?
Well, I'm just looking now, mate. I'm assuming Woodsy, you need to correct us if I'm wrong here, mate. But Rabid Matondo came on for Alfredo Morelos. Rabid, mate, aye. Came on for Morelos at a lovely time of 69 minutes. So I hopefully that was an injury.
It's just nice to know what Gav thinks of Greg Taylor then, huh?
Aye. I'm a tough taskmaster.
Gav, how down the class Greg.
Paddy, who was your man of the match for the night?
Oh, mate, As in Highlander, there can only be one.
Carol
Eh,
Starfelt.
What you like? No, I don't know you, mate. Come on. Super
Had to
performance.
be, man. Had to be.
Had to be.
And see without babbing up James because he doesn't like him, man. You have to agree, James. It was fucking outstanding tonight, mate.
I was alright. No, he was good. He was good. Should have had a hat trick right enough, but part of that was alright.
Well, see, in all fairness, James, right? Me, Dale, and Gav have been doing this for quite a long time now, considerably, right? And we've all slaughtered guys like Greg Taylor, Tony Ralston, Starfelt, and we've all ended up with egg on our faces at some point. So now's your turn, baby boy. Now's your turn.
Well, there you go, though. There's the question. If Juranovic is back, going to Ibrox, would you keep Moy in and go with the same midfield, or would you put Hatate back in?
I would drop O'Reilly.
That's a big shout, mate.
Mate, O'Reilly has been absolute guff for months. Guff.
I think he's been off the boil this year as well, Paddy. Definitely been off the boil, 100%, mate.
Pains me to say it, but I think I'd have to agree with you.
Who would you guys start for right back, though, going to Ibrox? Because you've got Juranovic, who was on the bench, but he's not played since the World Cup. You've got Alistair Johnson, who, again, has not played since the World Cup, and he's got that disadvantage of not having played a competitive game yet with Celtic. I'm sure he's probably played a bounce game, but, again, he's not played a competitive one. And then Ralston, I'd imagine, I don't know, Ralston, he wasn't on the bench tonight either.
Well, again, Gav, I actually said this to Dale kind of mid-game during the chat. And that I think if you play Alistair Johnson, then he crumbles. He crumbles under the pressure. Definitely, I would be starting with Juranovic, 100%.
You think so?
With his move on the horizon, will he?
I don't know.
Do you think Juranovic will play 100% if he's got a move on the horizon? He won't want to get injured.
Well, listen. I know, mate, but what better? See, even if you've got one eye on a move, right? What better way to showcase yourself? What way to put yourself in the shop one day than to go in and put a performance at Ibrox and coming back with a win for Celtic?
Nah, no for me, mate. And I can totally see your point of view, but for me, obviously, the last three victories, Gav, for me, Hatate's done well at right back. We've won 3 out of 3 after the World Cup, after we've went into kind of Livingston, St Johnstone and Hibs tonight. So why, Gavin, would you just go into a game at the shit pit at the biggest fucking rivals that you have and throw Juranovic in to a game that after winning 3 games you're still 9 points clear? No for me, mate.
I know, but why would you go to the shit pit and play an emergency right back there when you've got an actual proper right back available?
I understand your point of view, mate. I totally understand it, and I like the opinions, but I just don't see why you would put a guy in after 5 weeks of World Cup, after 7-8 weeks of no playing competitive football in the Scottish League, that you would just put Juranovic in at right back. No for me, but on the flip side of the coin, Paddy, he's a World Cup semi-finalist. There's guys wanting to pay 25 million for him, so I see your point of view. But for me, I would leave it the way it is, mate.
I agree with you, Paddy. I actually agree with you. I personally would start Juranovic, but I think if he was going to do that, Juranovic would have come on for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour the night. And obviously, he didn't get off the bench, so I think he will stick with Hatate. But Hatate, as much as he's been good at right back and obviously has been really good, he hasn't been tested defensively at all. Everything's been going forward. And I know obviously we'll like to think we'll go out and we'll scud them 5 or 6, but realistically we probably obviously will be a wee bit more under the cosh going to Ibrox and we have the last 2 games. So that kind of plays into my thinking. He's sticking Juranovic back in and putting Hatate back in the middle.
Who's going to test him on Monday, back, James?
Ryan Kent.
Who's going to test the right back Monday?
Well, we can't run it.
I
know he's shite, and I get that. I know that, but I mean, you look at that tonight. We could still be playing fucking to midnight, and Hibs wouldn't have scored. But I just think it'll be a wee bit different on Monday. And if we go with Hatate, similar to what you're saying with Johnson, if we go with Hatate and he gets ripped to shreds playing right back, then that's going to stick in the gut in it when you've got Juranovic sitting on the bench who's tried and tested at right back. So I think he will go Hatate, but me personally, I'd stick Juranovic back in.
Well, see at the last kind of maybe sorry guys, my apologies. See at the last kind of handful of games that we played against him, Juranovic has been the guy who's been able to combat Ryan Kent's pace. Now, and again, I'm the same as you, James. I'm not sitting here saying that Ryan Kent's an absolute world beater, right? But he has got that wee bit of dangerous streak where he can drive at you, he can twist and turn. And the only guy that's been able to combat that in recent kind of months last year has been Juranovic with his pace. So I'm telling you right now, if you play Hatate at right back, Ryan Kent will rip him a new one. The big guy the big guy that started the night ripped through Hatate a new one in the first 10 minutes. Hatate's not a right back. He can fill in there. He can do a job when it's asked, but you do not play an emergency guy in a fucking key position up against one of their most dangerous players.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. I disagree, but anyway. Gavin, right back, who would you go with?
See, if Ralston's fit, I would not be surprised in the slightest if Ralston plays. Another thing, Paddy, I know that you dismissed Alistair Johnson by saying if he has a bad game, if he crumbles, then that can kind of set the tone. I hear you, but I don't think Ange would ever take that viewpoint. Ange signs people because he believes in them, even if you can come back from a bad game. And I think that Ange will have full confidence. But again, I think the biggest factor about Juranovic is, does he have his eye in a move? How close is it to something? We don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, again, mate, the comment about Johnson is just my personal opinion. I can just imagine flinging somebody into a game at Ibrox when Celtic's only got 708 fans there. You know what I mean? The guy's never played in a kind of toxic environment like that before in his life. I don't care where he's played. I don't care the kind of rivalry between the Kansas City Steelers or the fucking Miami Heat or whatever as he's fucking playing against. I know that sounds very...
Philadelphia fucking flappy
Philadelphia Firestarters. I know that sounds very, very ignorant, right? But there's no way that guy's walking into Ibrox and going, "Oh, hey man, I'm ready for this game."
I could be talking shit here, but see Juranovic.
Yeah,
Juranovic
get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Was Juranovic's debut at Ibrox?
Yes.
Left back.
Aye.
People I know.
So there is history of doing it, maybe. Well, I doubt he would, but interesting to see.
Well, I mean, listen, the guy could play and be an absolute world beater. He could come in and play the game of his life. I'm just surmising, like a guy that's played in the MLS walks into Ibrox and he's like, "Oh my God, man, look at all these signs saying no surrender. Hey, I'm here for you guys." No, hold on a minute. Come on.
All right, Cletus.
Gavin, just before you go on, but Paddy's accents are horrendous, mate.
It's bad, mate. It's bad.
What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, bro? Get me out of here.
Wasn't he as bad as fucking Travis for Taxi Driver? Did you notice that guy? The guy who came on as a sub along with McGeady. No. The guy that came on with the Mexican.
No, I missed that,
mate. My God, mate, how bad was that? I tried so many times to get pictures, man, to send the boys, but who is that guy?
McCurdy, I think his name is.
Fucking McCurdy.
Just a young wee boy, but a daft haircut, man. He came on with McGeady. It's actually two former Celtic players who were playing for Hibs tonight. Henderson and McGeady, of course. I think that's the second time McGeady has now turned out against us.
Aye.
But anyway, guys, first half. So there was a wee early scare with the offside goal for Hibs. I didn't actually realise it was offside until I saw it back. But starting off, Maida had a great diving header, 4 minutes in, right past the post from a good Rodrigo Hatate cross. And then the goal came on the 28th minute, the Moy half volley. It came for Maida making space for a cross on the left flank. He partially cleared it, and the Baldy Pirlo was well placed to fire home from inside the box.
The fucking Baldy Scud book.
The Baldy Pirlo is brilliant, man. I love that, mate.
It was good. And on the 34th minute, Maida, another diving header, an even better one, and it came off the bar following an Abada lofted cross. I don't think Ange was too pleased by that, and that was a bit of a sitter. But only 2 minutes later did he redeem himself. And Maida, a wonderful shot. The wing play. I think he took it past about two players, and then Porteous came out to meet him, and he rocketed it in, and there was hardly any movement on the ball when it just travelled right there. Paddy, what's with the Irish accent? A fantastic goal. Dale, Maida, what a goal. And did you notice he didn't even smile after he scored? But I don't know if that's just because he's such a humble guy.
He is, mate. He's very humble, and I see that in Kyle go as well. When you see the challenges at Parkhead or whatever it may be, Paddy, you've seen it, that they kick somebody and they run over and give them a cuddle, and you're like, fucking get him to fuck, man, we don't care. I thought Maida was fantastic tonight, mate. And the one thing I did see, Paddy, in regards to the way he's playing football, is he spoke about what's his name, the Australian guy that's come in.
Harry Kuehl.
Can't remember his name. What? Harry Kuehl. Aye, Harry Kuehl. So
him, that guy.
Aye, that guy. Aye. He loves our Moy. I think Maida's got better since then. I don't know if he's going to be the guy that pushes us forward and plays every week. But tonight, Gavin, I thought Maida was absolutely brilliant, mate.
Well,
his final ball looks better, Gavin. Obviously, a goal tonight as well. So, it's just one of the ones that, but Maida at the very, very start. I remember talking to you and Paddy and your man for the Japanese podcast, and Maida was the guy. And since we've watched him so far, it's been a wee bit. I'm not too sure about the guy, man. He just runs about like a fucking chicken all the time. But he's getting better. He's definitely getting better. Tonight, I thought he was fantastic. Other than Aaron Moy, he was probably the best player in the park. I know James will be sharpening his knife with that one, but I thought Maida was absolutely fantastic tonight, mate. I thought he was brilliant, and going forward, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, then could he be a good player for us? Very much so, but he's a drifter, mate. He's a drifter, isn't he, man? He's good sometimes. His slap beats were brilliant.
Well, I've said.
I hope Frank doesn't put that comment on for the other night, Paddy.
What was that?
Nah, mate, it's fine.
I must have missed that one. But I've said that to you guys before. Obviously, at the game, I've seen Harry Kuehl working individually with Maeda. Clearly, Harry Kuehl's come in some kind of technical capacity, and he's trying to teach him the wee ins and outs, the wee 1-2s, quick touch passing, blah, 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 blah. But see, for me, Maeda is a guy that should be rotated in the squad, right? Because look at it this way, right? The guy's not an out-and-out winger. The same as what Abada is, right? Maeda can flourish on a big pitch, like a Celtic Park, like a fucking an Eastern Road, where it's a big open space. But see, when it comes to playing in a tight, compact pitch, like a Ross County or something like that, they tend to struggle because they're no out-and-out wingers. They can't do something with the ball that allows them to make space. These are guys that are used to running into space. They're not used to running with the ball. They're not used to, again, creating their own space. But on a big pitch, you get more kind of leeway to do that. And that's when these guys are kind of, they're valuable weapons. I've said it before. But they need to be rotated kind of purposely. And tonight, a game like Easter Road, on a big pitch like that, you would expect Maeda to get some joy. And he did. And to be fair, he did create a lot of the things he sell. So that's a total bonus. That could be that could be down to individual training. That could be down to coming back for the World Cup with confidence. Could be anything, but whatever it is, it's done wonders for Celtic tonight. So absolutely delighted.
Aye. James, there was 2 occasions after we went 2-0 up. One chance for Hibs before the break and one right after the break. There was a long throw for Hibs deep in our half, and it was met with a volley, and it came off the post. We were caught cold with that, and then on like roughly about the 50th minute, Nisbet had a gilt-edged chance. He headed it down, but it went wide. For his quality, you would imagine he would bury that sort of things. So we were 2-0 up at that point, but that was 2 chances before and after the break where it could have changed the look of the game. What is it you think about Easter Road? Why is it that we struggle there? It's totally different going to Hearts' ground where it's so close, with the fans are so close to you. It's so different going to Ibrox. Easter Road doesn't seem as intimidating, but we always struggle there. What do you think it is about that we just kind of fail?
I don't know, mate. It's always Easter Road in Almondvale, innit? I don't know if it's... I was going to say it's just because he couldn't play a bit of football, but that's not true after mentioning Almondvale. But I don't know. It's kind of difficult to put your finger on it. But the night after the first kind of 10 minutes, I know obviously as you're saying they had a couple of chances, but I mean... The game tonight and then the game at the weekend, honestly, see if the 4th official came out and held up 40 minutes injury time, I would have been buzzing just to sit and watch us for even longer and see the last a good few games before it. See when the full-time whistle was gone, it was more relief than anything else. So hopefully that's us just peaking at the right time. Obviously, getting into the second, we can just kick on. But the clean sheet tonight, I think is massive because I was saying on here last night. We've been struggling. We've been conceding stupid goals, stupid penalties, and I think it was McGinty said was it 2 clean sheets in the last 3 months or whatever it was. So I think that is as fucking as good as a score in the 4 goals to get back to being solid at the back, and obviously Starfelt looking the part as well. And I'm no Starfelt's biggest fan either, but I thought he was brilliant tonight.
Agree.
Aye. And as you said, we've done well. The confidence is high going into the 2nd of January as well. For Woodsy, Hibs usually attack as well and put us under pressure at Easter Road. Not tonight. Johnson on a sugary peg. He is, and a few other people are on a sugary peg. We spoke about Jim Goodwin, unfortunately. He's... I spoke up Aberdeen whenever we were playing them at Pittodrie because their home form was excellent up until that point, but they've fucking nosedive, man, right off a cliff. And there was actually a lot of goals tonight in the SPL. But the Celtic, the next goal for Celtic was the Moy penalty, and it all came, Paddy, for Callum McGregor's pass. It was like through the eye of a needle type thing, and it went to Maida, kind of went about the box. A handball for Stevenson, and Celtic get the penalty. At that point, I think everybody was thinking, who the fuck's going to take the penalty? Because everybody's had a shot. A lot of people have missed. So were you surprised that Moy stepped up?
I was a wee bit actually. Shut up, you fucking nude nut.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired here, mate. My throat's still fucked. I'm in my friends. Woo! I love those. Aye, a wee bit surprised, but do you know what? Delighted. It just shows a measure of the guy that he's willing to step up and take a penalty as well. I think the guy's shown complete leadership skills. He's shown that he's willing to push the team up the park. He's willing to get about. He's willing to do the simple things very, very well. Isn't that right, James?
He pushes up the park. He passes it backwards. He doesn't pushes up the park.
Listen,
it's a good game tonight. Let's still get carried away.
Listen here, young man. He pushes the team up the park, okay? And that showed tonight, and he done it well. But in the absence, obviously, of who Juranovic, Yakimakis, anybody else is regular, Turnbull, who's been taking the penalties. It's interesting to see Aaron Moy and maybe no Kyogo take the penalty, being your kind of main striker. Interesting.
I was thinking, like, traditionally, you would always want your centre forward to take penalties. And of course, Kyogo, he never steps up. Makes me think of one guy, Andy Cole, or who now goes by Andrew Cole, the second top goal scorer in English Premiership history. He had one penalty that he scored out of all the goals that he's got. He's just behind Alan Shearer as well. But Kyogo's obviously not got the confidence, I would imagine. If he did, then he'd be demanding the ball. But it is what it is. Dale, do you like to see your kind of main centre forward to take the penalties, or are you kind of open-minded about it?
No, mate. I think if you're out of position as a team and you want to score a goal, then surely your number nine's the man who's got to hit the penalty. 100%, man. Surely to God, man. If it's 1998 and you're got a penalty and it's Martin O'Neill's team, then Henrik Larsson hits it. If it's Nivadale with Ange Postecoglou, I know Juranovic has hit the penalties, but surely a top goal scorer hits it, Gav. If we get a penalty on Sunday, Kyle goes top goal scorer, so let him hit it. Surely, man.
Well, see the thing is, see if you listen to any Australian fan who's come on and spoke about Celtics and Zan and Moise came in.
Let's not talk about the people, Patrick.
Let's do, mate, because he's Australian. Obviously,
you talk about born people, like the fucking.
No, in general,
Oh,
like
right,
Australian folk on all kind of sorts of platforms. Every one of them will tell you that Aaron Moy for Australia is the guy that takes all the set pieces, he takes all the free kicks, he takes all the corners, he takes the penalties. So obviously, like, Ange just saw that kind of quality in the guy and said, listen, well, he's taking corners tonight, for talking sake. He's taking a penalty. And he's took them well enough, you know what I mean?
See, just on that, who is the last striker we had that took our penalties? Just because I'm thinking, because Henrik Larsson didn't have a great penalty record.
Gary Hooper, I would say.
I don't remember who was taking many penalties.
Oh, no, I tell you actually, Samaras.
What about Dembele? Did Dembele not take the penalties?
Dembele, fair dues, it'd be Dembele, wasn't it?
Oh, fucking hell, what'd you call him? They're a cunt. They're a French cunt. Edward.
No, it was just when you said it there, I was thinking about it, and I was just thinking back through history. I thought, hasn't been many.
By the way, just reading the comments with Postecoglou after the game, he said, we had a feeling that Hibs would come at us, and the first 10 minutes was a real game. We just stayed really strong, and eventually we wore them down. I think one part of this team that is underestimated is fitness. I think we're the fittest team in the competition. The players work hard every day, and we want to bring that to every game. I sense we could go for the kill, and the boys were up for it. And on the prospect of visiting Ibrox on Monday, he says, we know it's a significant game. It's a showcase game. They are second, and we are first. Yes. There's all of those elements, but I can assure you, we put in the same preparation for every game, and we'll be ready for it. It's always tough, but these are the games they want to be involved in, and we're going in with some decent form. So Ange, not really fighting talk apart from just saying that we are first and they are second, and that will be the case after the game in the second. But Dale, we actually spoke about it in our podcast at the start of December, and we spoke about the run-in for the 2nd of January. We had Aberdeen, Livy, St Johnstone, Hibs, whereas the ugly mob, they had Hibs, Aberdeen, Ross County and Motherwell. And this was just when Beale was coming in, but we're hoping that they would slip up to widen the gap even further. But of course, both people have maintained the wins, 100% record during those 4 games apiece. So who do you think will be... I was going to ask a daft question. Who do you think will be the bookies' favourites? We'll be the bookies' favourites. But what are you expecting? Are you expecting it could be similar to the 2-1 victory that we had at the end of last season? Or do you think it could be... do you think the golf and quality could be on show?
I think, mate, the 100% that we go to the shit pit, the inbred dome, and absolutely batter them on the 2nd of January, mate. I just don't think that they've got anything at all in their arsenal to bring it to us. Ryan Kent's been shit. Barrelos is a fucking fat waster. Michael Beale's got more. He's got more interest in his fucking mole in his face than he has in the back room. What I do think is Ange Postecoglou has got a good backroom staff, a very, very good side. We go into the 2nd of January, mate, 9 points clear. After that game, it's 12 points clear, and the implosion of Facebook and Twitter and whatever else it may be will be absolutely epic, mate. It'll be epic. These guys will be shiting fucking Facebook stuff all over the place, mate. 12 points clear. We'll win the league. I've said that to Paddy, and I don't like to project my predictions too much, but I'm going to do it. So, aye, 2nd of January, 3-0 shit pit. We'll be 12 points clear, and Michael Beale will be in his hospital getting a wee hand cut off his face because he's a fucking idiot. And I've sent the picture to Paddy, man. We mold face will be back down in Liverpool, fucking suiting Stevie Gerrard's fucking bottom. Sorry, Paddy.
Apologise to people.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
James, the closer we get to the 2nd of January, VAR will be one of the main topics of conversation. Do you think we're good enough to put it beyond VAR, or do you think VAR can rear its head on that game?
Oh, just depends what rules we're playing. I take it the rules for handball have been changed during the World Cup break. They're bouncing off horns left, right, and centre, and penalties aren't getting gave anymore. So I don't know. It just depends what rules we're playing on Monday. But to be fair, I'd take a draw. You're asking me the rule, take a draw. You ask me on Monday morning, I'll no settle for anything less than 3-0. But no, I'd take a draw. 9 points is 9 points. Keep it at 9.
Well, funny you should mention that, right? Because I put that into the chat this morning. See, last night I had a dream, right? I had a dream. Well, apart from the ones.
Any Germans?
Hey, on Martin Luther King, tell us.
I had a dream. Then I get shot. That's terrible. No, that's terrible. Sorry. No, I had a dream that we actually drew 1 each at the ship pit, and we were up 1-0, and the bastards equalised in like the last 10 minutes or something. So on that note, I'm going to say 4-0 to Celtic.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm going to go for 1 each.
1 each?
1 each.
Fucking prick.
It's a bit harsh.
I know, mate. But we'll probably speak a wee bit more about it on Friday, but you're still a prick.
That's quite diplomatic from Martin Luther King for a 1 each draw. I wonder what Malcolm X would say. I think he'd be more aggressive in his prediction. By the way, Rocco Vata made his debut. A proud moment for all Celtic fans, and especially for me, Paddy. It was great to see him coming on. He had a couple of touches.
Obviously, Dale doesn't like. Obviously, Dale doesn't like Vata because he's just fucked off. Do you know what? Superb to see the young boy coming on. 17-year-old made his debut. It was actually just over 30 years ago, Gav, that his dad made his debut. So, fucking makes you feel old, doesn't it?
I sent that the picture of Vata to you guys in the group chat. It was him and Liam Brady on the training park, and he had like a mullet, and we thought the mullet was bad, but the tracksuit, the shell suit that he was wearing, that was even worse, man. That was very, very dated.
Horrendous.
Aye, but he looks good. He look definitely a different type of player. If his dad, taller than him anyway, but his dad was like a centre back, whereas Vata is a winger. So, and he's had a lot of plaudits so far. Unlike Kevin Doak, Woodsy was speaking about that. Kevin Doak, sorry,
Ben Doak.
Ben Doak. I used to work with Kevin Doak. Ben Doak obviously went for the money, went to Liverpool, whereas Vata, you would hope that he might have a more grounded background, and that's why he stayed about at Celtic. James, what's your hopes for Vata?
It stays about Celtic. No, it's good to see him getting on. It's the first for a wee while that we've had coming through. It's had the real hype, and obviously I know Ben Doak, but I mean in terms of you're hopeful that they'll stay. Obviously Dembele left, he never really still hasn't lived up to the hype. So hopefully we're showing them the pathway. I mean, what is that? 17? Am I right?
17, mate, aye.
17. I mean that's young, innit? Even for being young, that's young. But just hopefully more kind of maybe the same essentially when the game's won, getting them on maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes at the end and see what he can do, just gradually building them up. But it'll be good, hopefully, if he sticks about and if he keeps up the promise, it'll be good to get somebody coming through for the academy because it has been a wee while.
Well, this is the exact type of game that you want to be flinging on young boys like that. You know, when you're up maybe 2-3-0, it's a kind of maybe not so much a hostile ground, but it's a hard ground to go to. And you want the boy to go and get the experience. He's playing up against kind of rugged, hard defenders. It's good experience. It's good that he gets his first game for Celtic, and it's good that he takes that away the night. You know that he's actually made his debut. There's been some sort of pathway from the unders team into the first team, which is it's been a lot of problems. It's been a problem for a lot of seasons, especially recently when our youngsters haven't had a clear pathway for that level into the first team. So now clearly Andrew's bridging that because he's had guys like Toby Ovalumye on the bench. He's had Boston Lawal. He's had Scott Robertson over in Australia. Johnny Kenny's been on the bench as well. You know, when we've needed them. So these guys are going to be getting a chance if they are good enough. And fortunately, the night, you know, Rocco Vata came on the night. Did he do himself any injustice whatsoever? I think his first run, he kind of overran it a wee bit, and the guy got ahead of him, the defender, and went out for a bye kick. But other than that, he was brave. He wasn't shy. He wanted to take men on. So that's always a positive, especially when you're a young winger coming into the club. So we can only champion that, and we can only hope that he gets more experience as the season goes on. Positives all the way, mate. Delighted.
I wanted to get your thoughts and the viewers' thoughts about the penalty claim for Maida. Maida went on, his confidence was just growing and growing throughout the game, but he had the penalty claim. It wasn't given. It looked like it didn't go to VAR, but that's me just watching from my living room. He took it round two players, and then the third player was Bashiri. He was already in the box by this point. He knocked it past him. For me, it looked like a penalty, but of course I'm emotional. I'm a Celtic fan, and I didn't see many camera angles from that. James, what was your thoughts on that penalty claim?
I don't know. It genuinely is a kind of a 50-50 one in it because the guy, is it Rocky, wasn't it? He does win the ball, but he kicks it off Maida, which keeps it going forward, and then Rocky catches Maida, so he does win the ball, but then at the same time, if he doesn't make the tackle, then Maida's clean through. So it's one of the ones you'd want for you, but if it was against you, you'd be raging. So I don't really have any complaints, to be honest.
Well, what I will say is, when Andy Walker turns around and says it's not a penalty, then you know fine well it's a fucking Stonewall penalty, because that man is a wanker.
Well, I'm saying that, but Aaron Moy was on a hat-trick at that point, so maybe that played into it as well.
Aye, that was most likely something to do with it. No, but listen, it was a Stonewall penalty. You know, you're getting penalties now if the ball hits your arm and you're like that. You know, if your arm's in an unnatural position. So if your fucking leg is in an unnatural position and a guy goes down, then surely to God it's a fucking Stonewall penalty. It didn't go to VAR. It didn't go to VAR, as you said, which is very, very strange. And the referee was straight away like, nah, no penalty. Puzzling, baffling, bamboozling.
I would like a wee bit more transparency. You know, like whenever they make a decision against us, they take 2 minutes, 3 minutes plus to decide. You know, But when it's for us, I just want to see a little bit more time taken. So Andrew Dallas on VAR can't give 2 penalties to Celtic. The SFA would explode. Yeah, who's the referee then for the second? Does anyone know?
John Beaton, Willie Collins, and
John
VAR.
Beaton, Willie Collins.
So he'll be watching CBBS or something in the VAR booth on no doubt, man.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. So guys, for the actual the second, Paddy, going to ask you, right back. Who is your right back for the second?
Juranovic.
James.
If it's me picking the team, Juranovic, but I think Ange will stick with Hatate.
Okay. Midfield then. McGregor, Hatate, and do we go for Moy, man of the match Moy, or do we go for O'Reilly, who's been floundering as of late?
James?
I'd go McGregor. Assuming you're playing Hatate at right back, I'd go McGregor, O'Reilly, and James McCarthy. Nah, I'd go with Moy. It's got to be Moy. Got to be Moy, didn't it? Pains me to say it, but it's got to be Moy. If he's played, we're saying that even if he's playing Juranovic, I'd probably give Moy the nod ahead of O'Reilly, and it hurts.
Now, Maida has been very, very good today. However, Jota, he's been coming off the bench last couple of games, but I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Maida actually started. The other point that Woodsy put up was if Taylor is injured and Bernabei starts, how would you feel about Bernabei and Jota on the left wing? Would you put Maida in for that defensive discipline? That's something that, of course, Jota could switch over to the right. You could see that happening. But do you think it will be Kyogo, Jota, and Maida? Whether Maida and Jota switch, do you think that will be the front three guys?
I think Maida has to start at the left hand side for the simple reason that he's the guy that's got the pace to burn to get by Tavernier. And if that's so, and if he plays on the left hand side, then that should kind of subdue him to coming out of his position at right back and getting up the park, which is really, let's be honest, that's when he's dangerous, when he gets up the park. So if he's got to contend with a guy who's super, super fast, then the chances are he's not going to be able to do a lot of movement up the park. On the other side, I'm going to go against the grain here. Well, my grain, sorry. And I'm going to say start with Abada. I've criticised Abada a lot at right wing because I don't think he's very good as a winger. Again, he's one of these guys who, without the ball, running into space, he's very, very dangerous. He can do things, but when he's on the ball, again, the night I saw it, his brain and his feet don't do the same thing. They're not in tandem. But I think if they play that big boy Divine at left back, I think if you put Abado on somebody that's got pace to burn, then he rips him a new arsehole. I really do. So just go and attack them down the fullbacks and we will get success.
Well, Barisic played at left back tonight for the Rotten Mob. I'm going to imagine that he continues. But again, Abada has had joy against him. Some good comments like Red Scotland said that Maida played his way into the 11 for Monday. Did he not? Yes. That's a good shout. And I also do agree with him when he says, I would worry if Hatate started at right back. People have made the comment that Hatate's played right back for the past 2 games. He's done well. He's been contributing and he's been scoring as well. But I think it's a different ball game at Ibrox. And the other thing I would say is, personally, I would start Giakoumakis. But what do I know? Ange will not go down that route. My feeling is Kyogo is fully effective when we are firing in all cylinders, when we're playing pure Ange ball. But do we expect to see us playing like that at Ibrox? I know that we're the better team, but the gap between us and them, not the league gap, but just the playing styles, I don't think it's going to allow us to do that. and we're going to need that outball. I spoke about that in the last podcast. We need the outball, and Kyogo is fucking anonymous unless the ball is put in a plate for him. The only other way that he can influence the game is by pressing people. But again, he's got the physicality of an infant. I don't think he'll make much of an impact unless the ball, as I said, is played to him. And just one elbow, one kick, and he's out of the game. You remember at Parkhead, some people said it was a blessing in disguise. It was in the first 2 minutes or whatever. Lundstrom, I think it was, he took him out of the game. Giakoumakis came on, and we won 4-0. So interesting. The selection it's a good headache. And someone said, "Is it Greg Taylor will be fine?" I hope you're right for that, because that will take away having to put Bernabe and then maybe Maida on the left flank. But it's a good headache to have. What makes people think Josip Juranovic won't play? Well, we've already signed his replacement, Alistair Johnson. Juranovic hasn't played since the World Cup. Admittedly, so has Johnson. He's not played since the World Cup. And the other factor is that he might have his head turned by a move. There might be a move in the works by Monday. And if that is the case, will he play at 100% in case he ruins the chance of failing a medical? So, but again, people say, no, he's a professional footballer. He's never going to do that. But come on, we're all cynics here. We know the reality.
It's a good point. It could work. It could work either way. We play him. His head's already turned. He thinks he's going to Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, or Chelsea, and doesn't get 100% in the game. Or he comes into the game and thinks, right, I've got Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, and Barcelona after me. I better put a show up here. And but apart from that, listen, he's the best right back we've got as it stands. I know he may be leaving. He might want to leave. Doesn't matter. He's still the best right back that we've got. So if we've got him there, fit and available, we need to play him. Hatate's done great deputising and his layoff, but we cannot go into that game with Hatate up against Ryan Kent. We really can. It's imperative that we go with a fast right back, somebody who's defensive minded and can chase him all the way. Hatate doesn't do that. Hatate's a midfielder. He's doing a job at right back now because he's been asked to do it. Fair enough, but do not even think for a second that we can do that. It's not even up for debate as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, one wee stat that I heard today, I don't know if it was after the third goal went in or after the fourth goal went in for Celtic, but that's 111 Premier League goals that Celtic have scored in 2022. And if you compare that to 1966, where we scored 109 goals. Let that sink in. Huh?
That's good.
That's good. That is good.
Sorry, that's phenomenal. Superb.
That's it. Right. I'm conscious that it's past people's bedtimes. Guys, is there any other comments you want to talk about the game today or going into the 2nd of January before we wrap it up for tonight?
Another fantastic professional performance by Celtic tonight. That's obviously 4 wins out of 4 since we've come back from the break. What better way to be rocking up to Ibrox? Back 9 ahead, full of confidence, full of bravado, and the nicest possible sense. On form, scoring goals. No, good. I'm confident. As long as we turn up on Monday with the right attitude, we can take the pressure that's going to come at the start, because fucking Ian Beale, he's going to be playing the same tactic as what they did under Gerrard. It's become it, put the traps for the first 10 minutes, first 10, 15 minutes of the half, try and go down the wings, get the boys in, try and do this, try and do that, and it'll be the same at the start of the second half. So if we can see out the first 10 minutes without conceding a goal, and then we go and attack them, we should get something out of the game. We really should. But again, it's going to be balls to the walls for bits of it. But if we're brave enough and we take our chances and we're clinical, which is something that we've been for the last few games, the clinical finishings come back into the game, then there could be a couple of points in at least a point in the cards.
Aye. Well, it feels as if we've had a lull and this is us on the way back up now, and it's kind of peaking at the right time. Well, getting to its peak at the right time, hopefully.
James, what's your prediction?
I said I'd take a draw, but I'll say 3-1 Celtic.
Now, I know Martin Luther King had a dream that it was going to be one each, but Patrick, what do you think?
I'm sticking with that, mate. I'm sticking with it. Celtic to be 1-0 up, and then the rotten mob to equalise at some point.
By the way, can I ask you an honest question? What one Rangers player do you think carries the biggest threat against Celtic? Honest question.
Ryan Kent, Ryan Kent actually puts me in mind of fucking Nacho Novo a wee bit, in the sense that he's shite, but he always seems to kind of turn the on against us and have a kind of a decent game against us. But the one for me that is a danger, maybe a wee bit fucking controversial, I'd say Morelos. I know his record's shite, but he always seems to get chances.
That's an honest appraisal. Thank you, James. Patrick.
I'm probably going to, and I absolutely hate this fucking mutation, but I'd probably have to say Arfield, because he has shown in recent weeks that he can drive forward and get a fucking jammy goal here and there. So he's definitely going to be one to watch out for.
I would agree with James with Ryan Kent. And I think the reason that we've been speculating so much as to who plays at right back is because we know that the right back is going to be facing Ryan Kent. And although his goals, his stats are not much to write home about, he creates opportunities whether we like it or not. And I think the heart rate does go up whenever he's got the ball and he's facing up against our right back. So, yeah, I would agree. Ryan Kent is the one player who I feel carries the biggest goal threat.
Well, there's Mad the Kid RS is saying the danger man is John Beaton. Gary Melrose is saying Lundstrom is a threat to the players if he gets away with it again. All right. Same again with the Doctor. Danger man is Lundstrom.
The old time Eddie, do you think McGregor has still got it as a goalkeeper? Do you think he still got it?
No, but the bastard fucking still seems to pull saves out his arse when he's playing against us, doesn't he?
I think he's still alright. He still pulls the saves off. He's got a clanger in him now and again, right enough, but I think he's still decent enough for them.
Well, you'll never beat that clanger that his predecessor gave to us for Turnbull's goal at Parkhead in a 4-0 victory.
Who was that again?
Is it McLaughlin?
McLaughlin, aye, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, he played the last game, actually. I take it McGregor was back tonight.
It was, yeah.
Aye,
no idea.
Yeah. I'm for all-time Eddie. He just seems to pull saves out his arse all the time. Right, okay, my prediction. I'm going to go
there's a good question before you get to your prediction, Gav. Joe Agnew, hope everything's all good, pal. How many penalties will they get, or Celtic getting goals disallowed? John Beaton in charge. Will they call him on the VAR? I think you've got to say there's at least one penalty in them. Probably 88th minute or something. Celtic 1-0.
I don't even want to think of it, man. I really don't. Right, okay. I will go for... It's either 2-1 or 3-2, I think, to Celtic. I'm going to go for 2-1.
Confident. Good. Like that.
Mate, I'm never confident. I like to play it down.
What do you think McGinty would say?
Well, he was almost right tonight. McGinty went for 4-1 and we won 4-0 tonight. But
did he? What was the predictions again?
The predictions, well, Daza said 2-1 for tonight. You said 2-0. James said 3-2. McGinty went 4-1 and I said 3-0.
And I think actually, genuinely, if you rewind the tape, I said 3-2 and an Aaron Moy hat trick. So there you go.
Yes, mate, yes.
But wait, listen, we don't take facetious answers.
So he still let me down.
Well, if we got that penalty, it should have been a penalty. Maybe, just maybe. Aye. Right, guys, we'll wrap it up for the night. But to the viewers, thanks very, very much for tuning in. Great to see your comments. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. But again, I hope everybody had a fantastic year, 2022. Although it's been difficult at the same time, hopefully next year people get a fucking break. Financial crisis and whatnot. Hopefully COVID doesn't come back and rear its head. But aye, guys, it's the last podcast of this year, and we'll reconvene sober or maybe not sober on Monday, the 2nd of January. Paddy, final thoughts for the year, getting a wee bit sentimental now. By the way, to the viewers, thanks so much. One of the highlights for our podcast was getting to over 1,000 subscribers. We've now started putting on the adverts yet to make money, but you never know. But anyway, it's been great having you guys with your comments. You've been the lifeblood of the podcast, so we really appreciate it. And James, it's been great having you join us as well. Thank you for that. Paddy, any final thoughts?
Aye, just the same, mate. It's been a pleasure to go into season 2, doing the Jungle Jazz podcast. Great to have young James on board as well. Great to see all the commenters, old and new. And seeing success with Celtic yet again so far. So roll on to next year. Hopefully we're back with a bang on the 2nd, and we're coming on pushed, delighted, celebrating. And rolling on to the next time we lift the cup.
Right, guys. Again, thanks very much for the night. A brilliant victory, and let's hope the 4-0s continue for the 2nd of January. So to the guys, have a great new year when it comes. Don't do anything too stupid, and we'll see you on the 2nd. But for the Jungle Gyms, hail.
See you next year.
All the best. God bless Aaron.